Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Ivy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is, oh my goodness, it's a new year, January. And today is the 5th. Our vocabulary test for this month is like all the others. We have 10 items here for you. Number 1, Jim tripped over a stone while he was running. The pain was so blank that he could hardly stand up. Now let's see. Is it the pain was so A, overall, B, intense, C, exotic, or D, urgent? Well, if you trip over a stone while running, you're probably going to fall down. And even if you don't, that can really hurt a lot. So the pain was so much that, which of these 4 talks about the amount of something? Not overall. Oh, intense. That looks good. That means extremely painful. Exotic. No, we wouldn't use that to describe a pain. And urgent has to do with you're late for something and you better get ready or you better finish what you're supposed to do. The problem must be solved very, very soon. It's urgent. But pain is not measured by urgency. So choose B, intense. Jim tripped over a stone while he was running. The pain was so intense that he could hardly stand up.
好，所以我们看到这个题目呢，他说 Jim 怎么样 tripped over a stone， 好，那就是被一颗石头绊倒了， tripped over something 就是被什么绊倒了。While he was running， 他在跑步的时候呢，被一颗石头绊倒了。The pain 这个痛苦呢，绊倒的时候那个痛苦，那个痛的程度 was so 怎么样 that he could hardly stand up， 他痛到几乎是不能 could hardly 就几乎不能 stand up 就是站起来。好，所以我们要看找一个字来形容这个 pain。A 这个字呢 overall 是总体的整体的，那你说这个整体的痛的怎么样？其实绊倒应该是局部某个地方很痛，所以 A 不对。B intense 这个是我们正确答案，因为痛非常的强烈， intense 就是指强烈的意思，所以这是正确答案。C exotic 是有异国风情的，这个痛没有什么异国风情本国风情的。D urgent 是紧急的，痛得很紧急，这个中文也不会这样讲，英文也不会这样讲，所以我们要选 intense。
Number 2, the author's latest fantasy novel is blank the best of her works, but some think that's a slight exaggeration. So normally this kind of blank would be like undoubtedly or certainly, some kind of word that like emphasizes the best of her works as a concept. But our second half of the sentence says that this may not be true. It may not be the best of her works. So we need to have some kind of word that casts doubt on it's the best of her works. So let's see. We have deliberately, which means you do something on purpose. I mean, can you deliberately write the best work? You can try. Supposedly. If you supposedly it casts doubt on something. It's supposedly true, but everyone knows different. So that's probably the word. And then we have exclusively. It means it's the only one. And you could have exclusively the best of her works, but our second half of the sentence is about doubt casting, so that's not the answer. And D is inevitably. No matter what you do, it will happen. So again, that's not the right meaning. So choose B. The author's latest fantasy novel is supposedly the best of her works, but some think that's a slight exaggeration.
好，那我们先注意一下，刚刚 Angela 老师用了一个很棒的字啊 cast C-A-S-T， 他讲 cast doubt on something 就是对什么东西提出质疑， cast 本来是丢的意思，那 cast doubt on 就是把怀疑丢到这个东西上面去，表示你怀疑了。刚刚 Angela 老师用到他另外一个形式叫 doubt casting， 变成一个形容词的用法，就是会让人觉得会有怀疑的。好，那我们现在再来看看这个题目，他说这个作者他最新 latest的那一本 fantasy novel 奇幻小说呢是怎么样 the best of her works 他作品里面最棒的。好，那我们要找一个字来修饰他最棒的作品。好，那我们先看完这个句子，他说 but some think 就有些人觉得说呢 that's a slight exaggeration， slight 是稍微，所以有人觉得这个有一点点言过其实夸张 exaggeration， 所以呢我们来看看要选什么。那 A 这个选项 deliberately 是故意的，这本小说是他故意的最棒的作品，这根本讲不通，中文英文都讲不通。那 B supposedly 这个就可以了，因为 supposedly 意思是 不是非常那么确定，就据称是这样子，据信应该是这样子，或者是应该是这样子。所以换句话说，很多人说这是他，就是有人说这是他最棒的作品的意思。好，所以 B 是我们正确答案。那 C exclusively 是独自享有的、专有的、独自享有的最棒的作品，这个中文英文都讲不通。那 D inevitably 就是无可避免的，好，这是他无可避免的最棒的作品。最棒的作品没有什么无可避免这样的一件事情，所以也不对，我们选 B supposedly。
Okay, number 3. The factory blank visitors to take photos for fear that competitors may copy their designs. Here are our choices: A, forbids; B, reminds; C, neglects; or D, prompts. Well, the clear choice here is A. Forbids means to not allow people to do something. And if a factory produces things and anyone can take photos of anything at any time, they may sell those photos to a competitor, to another factory that is making the same or a similar product. So that works right away. You wouldn't want to remind visitors to take photos if you're afraid that they will be shared with competitors. That's the opposite meaning. Neglects, doesn't pay attention to visitors who are taking photos of important things in the factory. That doesn't make sense either. If you prompt someone to do something, you allow them to, and you even tell them, okay, now's a good time to do something. So B, C, and D don't make any sense at all. Try A, forbids. The factory forbids visitors to take photos for fear that competitors may copy their designs.
好，所以我们看到这个题目，他说这个工厂怎么样？那 visitors 就是参观者 to take photos 照相拍照 for fear that 就是担心害怕这个 that 子句里面这件事情会成为真的。换句话说，他们担心这件事情。他们担心什么事情呢？他们担心的是 competitors 就是竞争者 may 有可能会 copy their designs。 copy 就是抄袭，好，他们的设计 designs。 所以我们要选什么呢？那应该是禁止拍照嘛，因为这样子他们怕的是竞争者抄他们。所以我们看 A 这个选项是什么呢？ forbids， 这个就是禁止，所以这是正确答案。我们可以讲英文里面可以讲 forbid somebody to do something。 那 B reminds 是提醒，那提醒参观者拍照，那担心竞争者抄袭，这根本讲不通，不对。C neglects 就忽略的意思，他忽略参观，而且 neglect 通常后面不会说 neglect somebody to do something， 没有这种用法，所以意义用法都不对。D prompts 就是促使或者引起或者激起，那 prompt visitors 他们促使引起这个参观者想要拍照，这个也讲不通，所以不对，我们选 forbids。
Number 4. Amy's proposal of adding new functions to the vacuum cleaners was rejected because of budget blank. Currently, her company doesn't have enough money to make significant modifications. So if you want to change the design of a machine, not only do you have to source all the new parts of the machine, besides designing it and putting in, figuring out how to make it work, you also have to source all the new parts, and you also have to change the machines and maybe the SOP of how you're building it. And if you have suppliers building it for you, that might cost even more money. So I can see why they might not have enough money to make very big changes or significant modifications. So what kind of thing is going on with their budget? What kind of budget problem do they have? Do they have A, budget premiums? A premium is like when something is bigger or better, or sometimes you get money for something. Budget surpluses, our B choice, means that you've got more than you need for your current expenses, which is not true here. C, constraints, means that there's limits on your budget. So C is most likely our answer. And then D, budget declarations. A declaration, is just like, this is true, which doesn't make sense here. So let's choose C, constraints. Amy's proposal of adding new functions to the vacuum cleaners was rejected because of budget constraints. Currently, her company doesn't have enough money to make significant modifications.
好，所以 Amy's 她的 proposal of 就她什么什么的提议呢？她的提议是 adding 增加 new functions 新的功能 to 加到什么上面呢？ 加到的 vacuum cleaners 吸尘器上面的这样的一个 proposal， 他要在吸尘器上面加新功能这样的一个提议呢，整个东西 was rejected 被拒绝了。因为什么呢？ Because of budget 怎么样啊？那显然是因为预算不足嘛。好，那我们先把这个题目看完。题目后半段说 Currently 现在他的公司 her company doesn't have enough money 没有足够的钱 to 去做什么事呢？没有足够的钱去 make significant modifications 做重大的一些修改 modifications 没有钱，所以他的提议被拒绝了。那我们看看选项 A premiums加了 S 它可以表示奖金或者津贴，这个预算津贴在这里讲不通。那 B surpluses 就是过多剩余的东西，我们常常讲 food surpluses 过多的食物也不对。 C constraints 这是正确答案， budget constraints 就是预算的限制， constraint 就是限制束缚约束等等的。那 D declarations 是宣言或者是声明，这个也不对，所以我们选 constraints。Okay,
number 5. Ned used to consider marathons blank and tiring, but the process of running long races now gives him inspiration and teaches him perseverance. So in the beginning, we have Ned, who was running these long races. He used to think they were blank and tiring. Tiring means you're tired of doing something, so the blank must also be negative. Now we have but.There's a negative, so something good is probably going to be thought about these races. But the process of running long races, that's what a marathon is, now gives him inspiration. It gives him a feeling that he seldom has. It's like really feeling up and positive about things, and it teaches him perseverance. That means you can be patient even when facing difficult situations.So, what are we going to put after consider marathons blank and tiring? Well, it has to be something negative. A, notorious couldn't be more negative. Vigorous, that's positive, probably. Dubious is doubtful, but a marathon is not something to doubt. D, tedious. Tedious means tiring is a good synonym for tedious.Something that is difficult to do and bores you and you can't wait to stop doing it. But notorious, although it is negative, that has more to do with a bad reputation. And we don't say that a sport has a bad reputation. So our better or maybe best choice is D, tedious. Ned used to consider marathons tedious and tiring, but the process of running long races now gives him inspiration.And teaches him perseverance.
好，所以 Ned used to 曾经 consider 认为这个马拉松比赛怎么样呢？我们看到这空格，然后 and tiring 是令人疲倦的，很累人的。然后他说，但是 the process of 这整个的过程，什么的过程呢？ Running long races 长跑比赛，去跑长跑这样的过程呢，现在怎么样 ？Gives him inspiration。给他启发，那 inspiration 就是启发或者灵感，而且呢 teaches him perseverance 教会了他坚持不懈 perseverance。那我们看 A 选项 notorious 是恶名昭彰的，那我们不会讲说尤其马拉松不是恶名昭彰的，所以不对。B vigorous 是充满活力的，有力量的，马拉松本身并没有什么充满活力没有充满活力的这样的事情，所以也不对。C dubious 是可疑的，没什么可疑的，所以也不对。D tedious 单调乏味的无趣的，它跟 tiring 意思很像，所以放在这里非常合适，我们选 D tedious。
Number 6. The new government has the blank to reform the outdated system and has put forward a plan to raise the minimum wage. So they have the something to do this thing. This construction to have the something to do a thing generally is used to express that someone has like the courage, or we will use maybe more
intention.
Yeah, the intention. It's some kind of intention that we're looking for here. So restriction means limits. That's A. B, limitation means limits. So that's B. Our C, determination means some kind of intention. If you're determined to do something, if you have the determination to do something, it means that you strongly intend to do that. And then D, concentration just means your ability to focus. You can have the concentration to do something, you're able to focus on it, but that's not the kind of intention we're talking about here. So choose C. The new government has the determination to reform the outdated system and has put forward a plan to raise the minimum wage.
那这个新的政府呢 has the 什么 to do something 啊，所以它有什么要干嘛呢？要 reform 改革 the outdated system 过时的体制。然后呢，它 has put forward a plan 它提出了一个计划，要干嘛呢？ raise 就是提高 the minimum wage 最低的工资。好，我们看到选项 A restriction 是限制，英文通常不会说 has the restriction to do something， 没有这种，通常比较不会这样讲，那不对。B limitation 是限制，所以你说它有这个也是限制的意思，也不对。那 C determination 这个就对了，决心 has the determination to do something 就下定决心要做什么事情，所以这是我们正确答案。那 D concentration 是集中专注专心，也不对，我们选 C determination。
Right. Okay, number 7. The company was found to have used harmful ingredients in their food products, which blank outrage among the public. So many people stopped buying their items. Nobody wants to eat poisoned food, or even food if it's not poisonous, it's just bad for you. So let's see. The placing of harmful ingredients in their food products, what does this do? Which blank outrage? Outrage means you are really angry about something. So what would fit here? A, provoked. B, proclaimed. C, endorsed. Or D, envisioned. Well, to provoke is to force something to happen. And that fits here very nicely because the public didn't ask the company to make bad food. And when they found out about it, they became very angry. That works. Proclaimed is to make an official announcement. That doesn't work here. Endorsed is to support. That's the opposite of what we're looking for. Envisioned is to imagine. And again, it's not nearly so good as provoked. A. The company was found to have used harmful ingredients in their food products, which provoked outrage among the public. So many people stopped buying their items.
好，所以这公司被发现 was found， 发现怎么样 to have used， 它用过了，好，它已经用了 harmful ingredients， 有害的一些原料，在他们的 food products 食品里面 ，which 就是这件事情呢怎么样？我们要选 provoked。激起或者是激怒，它激起的 outrage 就是愤慨义愤 among the public 在民众之间激起的义愤，所以很多人呢 stopped buying their items 停止购买他们的商品 items 在这里指的就是商品，所以我们选 A provoked。 B proclaimed 是宣布或者声明， C endorsed 是背书或者赞同或者支持， D envisioned 是想象或者是一个展望，你想象到怎么看到了什么东西，那 B、C、D 都不对，我们选 A, provoked.
Number 8. The exhibit features stunning but blank glass sculptures, so the organizer is being extra careful not to let viewers touch the statues. So this exhibit, which means usually art or information, but since we've talked about sculptures, it's definitely art. It features stunning, meaning really visually amazing, but there's some problem here with the glass sculptures, something to be careful of, because the organizer is being extra careful not to let viewers touch the statues. Well, they're not being allowed to touch it, and we're talking about glass sculptures, so almost certainly we're talking about that they're fragile or easily broken. So our choices are A, manual, B, peculiar, C, delicate, or D, realistic. The only word here that has anything to do with easily broken is C, delicate. This exhibit features stunning but delicate glass sculptures, so the organizer is being extra careful not to let viewers touch the statues.
好，所以这个展览 this exhibit features 以什么什么为特色呢？它的特色就是 stunning 让人惊艳的，但是是怎么样的 glass sculptures 就是玻璃雕塑。好，那所以我们要选什么呢？玻璃嘛，很脆弱的，我们选 C delicate。好，所以它是让人惊艳可是很脆弱的这些玻璃雕塑，好，它以这些为主要的展品。所以呢 the organizer 这个主办方或者主办人呢 is being extra careful， 他格外的小心 not to 不要 让 viewers 就是参观的人 touch 去碰触 the statues 这些雕塑。那我们看看其他选项 A manual 是用手做的手工的，不对。 B peculiar 是奇怪的古怪的，那也不对，因为这个地方它不让人家碰，显然就是因为这东西很容易碎，所以跟它是不是手工做的，是不是很古怪都没有关系。那 C delicate 是我们的正确答案，脆弱的。D realistic 是真实的或者现实的，那它跟它脆不脆弱，能不能让人碰也没有关系，所以都不对。我们选 C delicate。
All right. Number 9, Brad is the elderly woman's blank in that civil case. He provides her with professional advice and appears in court when she can't. Okay, we have Brad and an elderly woman in a civil case. That's a court case. He provides her with professional advice. Well, I can give you advice, but I don't know professional information about the law. A lawyer does, though. And he can appear in court. He can go to court even without her. He can represent her. Clearly, he's a lawyer. And the choices here, there's one that screams out to be chosen. That's B. Attorney is another word for lawyer. A, outsider. C, mentor. Or D, veteran. Don't do it. What does is attorney because that's the same thing as a lawyer. Brad is the elderly woman's attorney in that civil case. He provides her with professional advice and appears in court when she can't.
好，我们看到的题目 Brad 她是这位 elderly woman 就是有点年纪的老妇人，是她的什么东西 in that civil case 民事案件里面她是她的显然应该是个律师之类的然后呢她怎么样呢 provides her 她提供她 with provide 人 with 物就是提供给人某个东西，她提供给她什么样呢 professional advice 专业的一些建议，而且呢 appears in court 就是出庭 when she can't 她不能出庭她就代为出庭，所以应该是律师之类的。那我们看到 A 选项 outsider 是局外人外来者，这个不对。 B attorney 他是律师，所以这是正确答案。 C mentor 或者 mentor 他是导师的意思，也不对。那第四个选项 veteran 是老兵老手或者是经验丰富的人，也不对。好，我们选答案是 B attorney。
Number 10. Every time we have a swimming class in fall, we cannot help blank after getting out of the swimming pool due to the temperature difference. So fall indicates that it should be colder, although that's not really true in Taipei here.
No, but in Wisconsin and New York,
Good Lord.
we have frost.
Actually, the outdoor swimming pools close at the end of September, and most faraway parks also close at the end of October. So you would be an indoor swimming pool, but even in an indoor swimming pool, the temperature of the air is going to be like what's the equivalent of 60 in Celsius?
60 would be 20.
Oh, yeah, or 19, yeah. Something like that. Anyways, it's still colder. So that's what we mean by temperature difference. It'll be colder in the air than in the water. And so we cannot help doing what? Fighting? Quarreling? That's A. B. Kneeling. We fall to our knees in pain. C. Giggling, which is what Bruce is doing right now. Or D. Trembling, meaning our body's natural reaction to sudden cold is to shiver to try to warm up. So the answer is D. Every time we have a swimming class in fall, we cannot help trembling after getting out of the swimming pool due to the temperature difference.
好，所以每一次呢，我们上游泳课的时候 we have a swimming class in fall 秋天上游泳课。那刚刚 Bruce 老师跟 Angela 老师都说这个尤其在美国往北一点的地方秋天已经很冷了，所以他说我们没有办法 we cannot help 怎么样，没有办法不怎么样，就是没有办法不 trembling 答案是 D 发抖或者颤抖 after getting out of the swimming pool 在我们离开游泳池之后大概很难不颤抖，为什么呢 due to 因为这个 temperature difference 这个温差，所以答案要选 trembling。 那 A quarreling 是争吵的意思，不对。 B kneeling 是跪下的意思，也不对。 C giggling 是傻笑咯咯地笑，也不对，所以我们选 D trembling。
Well, that's it for today's lesson. We hope you enjoyed it. Until then,
bye-bye.